When your chamber arrives, the largest box and heaviest box contains your chamber bladder. It comes in this very handy carrying case, and I recommend that you fold it up, tuck it somewhere safe, like a closet under the bed. If you ever travel with your chamber like I do, or if you move, this will protect the bladder during that time. In the same box are two of these. They are the bolsters that will go under the chamber bladder and keep it from rocking and rolling when you're getting out or in the chamber. In another box, there is the external component for the frame. This is when you want to get your handy Phillips screwdriver, and that's when you can put it together. There are frame instructions inside, and I've already comprised two videos, one of the 33-inch chamber frame assembly and the 40-inch Grand Dive chamber assembly. So to save you some time and me some time, I'm going to do a little bit of a jump cut. Okay, not the smoothest transition, but you get what I mean. Now you have fully assembled your 26-inch shallow dive chamber frame. Let's get to work. When you open up the bag, inside, shiny and new, your chamber bladder. It will sit inside the frame, where I'll unfold it and remove the protection from the valves where the air is going to come through from the compressors. So I'll remove those real quick. And I'll connect the compressors. We will be adding T-zip before the final setup, but this is just to get it going. I've already attached the compressors and, remember, remove that little piece. All right. That is what we're waiting for. Okay, while it is starting to fill up, I'm going to close the relief valve. I'm going to remove all of the other covers, and I'm going to close the two zippers so we can get an air seal. We will be lubricating these zippers later after we get it set up on the frame itself. But for now, this will do. There's the internal zipper. Make sure it docks in that port. And the external zipper. Also, make sure all of the buckles are secure. You can give them a little double pull on, make sure they're closed. They will protect the external zipper. And now we just get to wait while it inflates. Once your shallow dive is at pressure, you can attach the bolsters. There's a Velcro patch that marries up with Velcro patches on the bottom of the bladder. There's the front and the back. Some people find that this is a little awkward to get in. You can put it up on a platform. We've got a lot of designs for that, just ask. Or you can rotate the chamber itself. It's very easy. You would detach the bolsters so that they're not attached to the other Velcro, and just turn the chamber so the zipper is where you want it to be for your comfort. The Velcro straps here then can be attached. These are not to be attached really tight. You want just an inch or two so that they are held in place without pulling too much pressure on the frame. Remember, the frame isn't something to pull on or push on. It's just there to make it so the chamber, when depressurized, isn't collapsing on the occupant. So we're gonna attach those and these just a little bit, and just a little bit. Let's see, 1, 2, one more, then we're good to go. All right. Now, Remember that Open Me First box. There were the release valve muffler sound suppression sponges. This is when you'll want to put one on both the outside and inside of this relief valve. Here's without. It's not horrible, but it's kind of loud. And when you put this on, and if you really want it quiet, just tuck it in with a flathead screwdriver into that space, but listen to the difference. Much quieter. And you can put the other sponge on the inside as well. Okay, I think we're good to go. One of your boxes contains the mattress. When you open up the chamber, the mattress will go in. Sometimes the mattress will rotate a little bit, especially when the chamber's brand new. When the chamber's brand new, the bolsters are obviously brand new as well. And until it's had a little bit of love and a little bit of wear, they might feel a little bumpy under the mattress. So you can, in the meantime, scoot them a little further to the ends if you want, and that way the mattress will sit a little bit better. This is what the mattress looks like. You can clean it with a Norwex cloth, which we provide. You can also use a hydrogen peroxide, just the 3% grade, and it will go right inside the chamber. I'll show you how that looks. Always depressurize the chamber before you open the zippers. Once the chamber material, the bladder, has a lot of play, you know it's safe to open the zippers and the buckles. So I'll start with the external zipper, unzipping, just like you would a coat or a sleeping bag. And then the internal zipper, it's a little bit more hardy, especially when it's new, and I haven't yet put the lubrication on. We'll do that for sure. And that opens up the chamber. Finally, the buckles, which with practice you can do them with one hand. If you need to do them with two hands, take the two ends, press them together, and push on the metal wings when there's no pressure on them, and that will open up. I highly recommend that you practice pressurizing, buckling, zipping, all of that several times before you actually put someone inside. That way everyone feels like they're having a positive experience. Inside of the chamber, I'm going to take the mattress and put it in. It's not that difficult, really. And there you go. All of the chambers that we have at Summit to Sea are made for both external use and internal use, which means you can treat someone from the outside or you can treat yourself from the inside. And this is how you would do self-treatment. The main thing you have to do to change it is switch the internal zipper from external use to internal use. I bring the internal zipper about 7 or so inches, reach inside and pull that internal zipper so that they're almost playing a little bit of a game of tag. And you do it all the way to the other end of the chamber, pulling the buckles out of the way. And then when you get to the end, make sure that you park that zipper so that there is a seal in the very end of the zipper. It's always easier if you've done the proper lubrication, which we have, and now it's parked. Okay, next I'm going to climb in the chamber, level out the mattress so it's comfortable. You can throw in a pillow or two if you want, or you can just lay in it like this. Now I do want to point something out about the 26-inch shallow dive. This is our most economic chamber, and it does just the same amount of healing and rejuvenation as the other chamber models, regardless of size. It's our smallest chamber, which means for somebody who has mobility issues, this may not be an excellent choice. You may want to have somebody come along and be there to support you as you learn how to use the chamber, at least at first, until you get comfortable, because there's not as much wiggle room as obviously the larger chambers. Let me show you how this works. I should say, I'm going to turn on the compressors. So there's airflow already happening. The buckles must be buckled first. When you buckle the buckle, bring the two ends together. Make sure they click. And in this chamber in particular, will start doing the zipper as I go because of the lack of space with which to operate. So I'm bringing the external zipper, I'm bringing the internal zipper, and I'm gonna get to the next buckle. Like that. Now, as we get up to the third zipper or buckle, I'm going to want to do the top one first because it gets a little tricky. And again, you're having to scooch a lot more in this chamber to get it done. Double check, and we're good. Last one, and we're good. Now I'm gonna finish up the external zipper and then the internal zipper. Make sure that the release valve is opened or closed depending on my ear comfort, and bring this chamber to pressure. Here we go. And zip. Park it all the way. Now we know that it's parked on both sides and both ends. The smaller chambers do seem to pressurize faster. There's a lot less space. And obviously once they're pressurized, there's a lot more room. Okay, enjoy your dive. When you are getting out, you open up the release valve. You turn off the compressors. And once there is wiggle room on the material, you can open up the internal zipper first, at least halfway, reach, open up the external zipper, and then you can start opening the buckles. With this, you can do it with one hand sometimes. It's pretty easy for me, but I've had a lot of experience with it. Or you can use two hands, bring the two pieces together, take the wings and bring them up, which releases the buckle. And you can go ahead and do that all the way down, like that. Scooch along, internal, external, and finally buckle. Now your hair might be messed up after this, but I guarantee you're going to feel better.